What's good, sports family? Today we'll be doing something different on the channel. As you guys know, we're so used to doing, breaking news or someone passing away videos and sightings and all. But today I want to do something a little bit different. We haven't done a tier list in I think over a year and a half, 2 years. And I want to start doing this more often before, MLB season, NBA season, and also NFL season start. So we're going to do MLB season today. We're pretty much going to see how we do. And also the fact I know some of you would be like, why don't you wait until a week before regular season start? Well, I want to get out of the way. Why not? I feel like it's kind of rare for a lot of these MLB players to be injured during spring training because most of the ones that are going to be playing don't really gonna get that much reps. It's mainly the minor leaguers or the bench players that be doing most of the reps. But yeah, let's get started. So we have World Series, playoff, wild card, mid, and trash. So the reason why I put mid in this is because there's just going to be some teams that will be, not bad, but they're not going to make it or they're not horrible. So that's why I put that in. I could have done a little bit different, but hey, it is what it is. So let's get started. The first one, the Arizona Diamondbacks. Okay, they brought in Nolan Arenado from the Cardinals trade. They still have Marte. I know one of the players out. They brought in Zach Gallen for like a 1-year deal. I'm gonna say in that. I'm gonna put them at wild card for now. I feel like they could be a playoff team, but wild card just for now. I want to see how well they do with Nolan Arenado. If Nolan Arenado does what he does best, Marte does back. Marte still the same since he's coming back. And then other players being healthy and the pitchers doing what they gotta do, then they can definitely be a playoff team. But right now, wild card. And the Atlanta Braves. Now, last year, the Atlanta Braves did bad. Bunch of injuries, bunch of players just wasn't playing the best. Now, they don't have, Ozzy Albies, if I'm correct on that, anymore. I know a couple of pitchers are still injured. 2 key pitchers are injured right now. I want to say playoff team, but just by how the Braves has been for the last year or so, I'm going to say wild card. It might sound kind of like wild, but I feel like they're going to get a lot of more injuries coming in. I have a weird feeling. I just have a weird feeling. Now, next up, the Baltimore Orioles. They'll definitely be a playoff team, for sure. You bring in Pete Alonso, definitely need a first baseman. You still have all your key players that are still young and hungry. Your pitching staff is really good. You got Chris Bassett coming in. You got a couple of other bullpen pieces. I know some of them are a little bit shaky, but I think a new home, a new scenery and all. I think the fact that the Orioles can definitely be a playoff team. Yes, the AL East a little bit more like, man. You got the Red Sox. You got the Blue Jays, especially. You got the Yankees. But I feel like the Orioles can be definitely a playoff team for sure. Now, the Red Sox. I think the Red Sox, yes, they got some good starting pitching. Yes, the bullpen is somewhat offense. You got something there. They didn't make a bunch of splashes that many of us thought they would in the offseason. I'm going to say wild card. I want to put them as playoffs. That's a little bit of a stretch because Baltimore did pretty good. Blue Jays are good. Yankees are good. Sometimes the Rays can be a little bit sneaky. I have to play wild card. But I feel like the Red Sox can make a wild card for sure. Now, Cubs, definitely a playoff team. I kind of put World Series as a little bit too much of a stretch, but they did really good this offseason. They got a couple of key players. Pitching staff definitely upgraded as well. But the Cubs definitely going to be a good position this year coming up. Playoff team once again. White Sox, trash. I'm sorry. Growing up, I've seen the White Sox. My dad even rooted for them because he worked in Chicago for a little while and he was a White Sox fan, but then he was a Cubs fan. I don't know. But he had the White Sox hat. He always went to the games. I think it was cheap. But the White Sox, yes, you got Acuna. Yes, you got a couple of players that definitely might help your team. Yes, you got that Japan player that definitely could be a good player. Who knows? If it doesn't strike out that much. I don't know. I don't feel strong with the White Sox. I feel like they're going to be bad once again. Definitely not a playoff team, wild card team, or even a mid team. Definitely trash. The Reds, okay, you have the Brewers. They lost Peralta. They lost their other bullpen pieces. They can somewhat be good. The Cardinals kind of rebuilding right now. The Pirates can be somewhat sneaky. I'm going to say the Reds wild card team, maybe playoff team, but I put wild card team right now because I want to see more from the Reds. I feel like last year was something that shocked everyone. And I think after last year, they have a chance to be a playoff team. But just by how the Pittsburgh Pirates, the Brewers, are right now, it's a little bit of a, I don't know. Sometimes the Cardinals may even flip in, who knows? But yeah, they're the wild card team right now. Now, the Guardians. The Guardians have a good team. They do have a good team, but the owner does not want to spend money. Does not want to spend money. If they just get a couple more pieces, they'll definitely be a playoff/World Series. Right now, I'm going to put mid. I just don't know. Because they can definitely be a wild card team, but it's just, I don't feel strong about them. It just doesn't sit well with me right now. I just don't. Colorado Rockies. They're a team that did a little bit better. They're a little bit better this offseason. A little bit better, but not, mid-tier. More likely, trash. But they did better. I feel like the record would be a little bit slightly higher than last year, but still one of the worst teams. But I feel like might not be as bad as the White Sox in a way, but who knows. Now, Detroit Tigers. Them, I'm going to say, it could be a little bit of a shocker, but World Series and playoff. Both of those. I could put playoff, but I'm going to put World Series. They have everything. Bullpen, pitching, offense. They're definitely going to be a World Series team. I'm not sure about winning it, but just by how their lineup looks, World Series team. The Houston Astros. For me, I don't like them. I would put them in trash, but I have to be realistic. I want to put them as a playoff team, I guess. I haven't really been following them, so I can't really give you an exact where I want to put them, but I guess playoff teams, since they tend to do that quite often. Now, the Royals, just by how their players get, I'll put them a wild card. I don't know about playoff, but wild card. I cannot put them in mid, but I feel like they have a strong, nucleus around one another. Yeah. Now, the Angels, trash. They're definitely not going to go far. Once again, they're going to miss the playoffs. The owner even says winning is not the number one thing. Why would you say that? So, yeah. So definitely a trash. I just feel bad for Mike Trout. Wasting his prime there. Dodgers, World Series bound for sure. Don't have to explain nothing. They got Edwin Diaz. That was the one that they had an issue with. They brought in Tucker. Yeah. Marlins. I would say Marlins one of my favorite teams. Even though the same division as my New York Mets, I like the Marlins. But I'm going to be realistic with them. They're not going to be trash, but they're going to be mid. They're going to be mid, though. I feel just, with the pieces they have on the team, they have something, but not to the point that it's bad. Brewers, I'm gonna be wild card, yeah, because the Reds can be with the Brewers. It's like playoff team, but the Bruins did lose some firepower. Yeah, I could put one of them in playoffs, but it just doesn't make any sense for me to do that because you can see both of them kind of like line up with how they look before the season starts. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like that. Twins. Oh, man, if injuries was an issue, like Pablo Lopez out for the season. Now one of the other starting pitchers might be out for a while. The other players that they have, like Byron Buxton's always injured. I want to put mid. I feel like they could be trash, but mid's trash kind of disrespectful. And I feel like the Twins aren't as bad as the White Sox, the Rockies, and the Angels, but they have something. But I have a feeling they might be trash, though. I don't know. My New York Mets, I'm going to say playoff. I would not say World Series, but we did do a little bit better. Yes, we lost Edwin Diaz. Yes, we lost Pete Alonso, Brandon Nimmo, Jeff McNeil, but you need to change the lineup up. As I've been seeing how my Mets look already in spring training, I think the fact that we have much better defense. Semien, Bo Bichette, Luis Robert. Yes, we might need some help with starting pitching. Bullpen is not that bad. As I've seen, we're like 9th or 8th in the league out of all 30 teams in bullpen. Not bad. But I think our starting pitching might be one of the issues, and first baseman might be a little bit of an issue, but I think we're still a playoff team if we, stay healthy and click. Now, New York Yankees, World Series bound. We have a lot of things right there on the team. Bunch of good starting pitching. Really good hitter. We'll see 1 or 2 players on the team, as you guys know, towards the bottom of the lineup. Not the greatest, but we'll see if they can bounce back. Bullpen. I'm a little bit iffy on the bullpen part. I feel like they might make a move, but I don't know why they didn't really make any moves this offseason. I know they got Cody Bellinger and brought Rosario in, but they didn't really make any move for bullpen-wise. I'm a little iffy on that, but they're still a World Series team. Now, the Athletics, I like them. I really do like them. I used to, crap on them all the time, every single year, because how bad they were. But I like them. I'm going to put them in mid. I wouldn't put a wild card because it's too soon and there are a lot of young players. But I'm not putting them as trash. I feel like they're going to do somewhat better than the other teams. So yeah. But I can't wait for them to go to Las Vegas. I feel like they might spend more money when they go to Vegas. I feel like it. They gotta. Come on. Big market. Come on now. Phillies now. I'm still going to put them as playoff team. It's just, you just gave JT Realmuto a lot of money. You gave Kyle Schwarber a lot of money, so you weren't able to fill in that other hole. The fact that you don't have Nick Castellanos anymore, which I know is not a big deal, but in a way, kind of. They still have good starting. They still have good bullpen. It's just the offense a little bit of a question, but they're still a playoff team. Pirates, I'll put the wildcard team. Because they upgraded their offense much better. Their pitching might be even much better than they were. Bullpen is a little bit sneaky. I feel like they could be a wild card team. Now, you see the fact that the Pirates, the Brewers, and the Reds is wild card. It's too hard to choose which one goes to playoffs. It's too hard. I think all 3 teams are equally matched, and I feel like they can definitely battle out in that division. The Padres, yes, you got Nick Castellanos, but then again, the pitching is a little bit of a question mark. I want to put mid. I just don't trust them right now. That division's too good. I don't know if I can see them wild card. I don't know. I don't really know, but we just have to wait and see. Now, Giants, I'm going to put them as a wild card team for sure. I can see them as playoff team, but I don't know. Even last year when I saw them, I'm like, dude, you have such a good team. Why are you not winning a lot of games? You would think. Rafael Devers, everyone else that's on the team. The pitching's pretty solid, but I don't know. Seattle, playoff team for sure. I feel like they could definitely be a World Series team. Matter of fact, let me do that. Put the World Series. I feel like they have a really good chance to be a World Series team. Just they have everything. They have everything. They're good. Just have to win. Now, the Cardinals, I'm going to say trash because they got rid of everyone. They're rebuilding. I don't know if they're going to be a wild card team, maybe mid, but just to be nice, I'll say mid, but I'm just going to leave them as trash for now. The Tampa Bay Rays. They're always a sneaky team every single year. I want to put them as a wild card team because they always find a way to win games with a small payroll. And they bring in pitchers that they can fix, and then they end up leaving. But I like the Rays definitely be a wild card team once again. I feel like they've been a wild card team like every single year. But I like them. I just hope, they move to a new stadium. They spend much more money. Because if they can spend much more money, and the fact that they're really good at transforming these, hitters and pitchers, that team can definitely be a successful franchise for years to come. But they just don't want to spend a lot. I don't know why. At least they're not bad as the, well, Pirates, kind of. The Texas Ranger, yes, you got Brennan Nimmo. Yes, you got a couple of pitching help, other players here and there. I don't think they're going to bounce back, be a playoff team. Definitely bounce back. You have too many good players on that team. You have Jacob deGrom as your starter. You have a couple others out there. Definitely a bounce back. Toronto Blue Jays, World Series bound, easily. They already have all the same pieces from last year. They even upgrade a little bit. Definitely a World Series team for sure. And last but not least, the Washington Nationals. The Nationals, oh man. The Nationals, I like their young core. The young lineup is really good. The pitching, I do not like. The bullpen, I want to say mid, just like the Marlins. Both got something in them, but definitely not a playoff or wildcard team for sure, but they're not going to be bad. But, yeah, guys, that is the MLB tier list before the regular season. As you know, spring training is still here. If for some reason there's a bunch of injured starter players, I'll maybe make another video and, like, update everything. But I highly doubt it because spring training, they let a lot of younger guys and bench players play much more. And, yeah, guys, let me know in the comments. Is this a good tier list, a bad tier list, or a okay? And I'll see you guys next video.